Sweet. All right, we're
So
good.
okay, so all right. I'm gonna call you by your name, Zach. I don't know what I'm gonna call you here. So Zach, man, it's so good to
Oh no,
talk
you're
to you.
fine. Either one.
So good to talk to you. So good to be on here with
Dude,
you.
it's been a while.
It's been a while, dude. And I was just thinking about that pizza Zach and Zach and Andrew eat a za video, dude. And
Oh my God, yes.
it's just so funny. We've been through a lot together, whether it be, working at that door-to-door cable place,
Goodness.
just back in the day of El Paso gunfight. There's a lot to obviously get into.
Yes.
So all right. How have you been, man?
Dude, I've been great. As you know, I moved to Portland from Boston, so you could probably still hear that accent in there.
No, like
And,
like I don't know though. That's the thing, right? Like I only see briefly from social media and stuff, but like so what okay, I don't even know where else you've lived. So when you left, Methuen was home, right?
for a bit, yes. I lived actually like, in Boston, Quincy. I lived there for a while. I lived in Lowell, and then I was living in Haverhill
Okay.
for a couple years. And then I ended up, moving back home for a bit and just decided I'm going to try and make the best of a really bad situation that I was in at the time and try and make a name for myself out in Portland. I
Yeah,
had
why Portland of all places?
so I had a great friend of mine at the time living there, and she knew what I was going through at the time, so I was just talking about just trying to find jobs during COVID was awful, and I had been looking even after COVID had sort of died down, everything was opening back up. The job market was supposed to be plentiful, wasn't finding anything.
Mhm.
And she just randomly said, "Hey,
Oh,
if you need
I think your
to,
bro's
let
trying to talk
me."
to you real quick. Oh,
No,
maybe not.
no, it's okay, it's
Okay,
okay.
okay.
um,
I was like, dude, you need something.
but yeah, pretty much. I just decided, let me go and see what's out there in Portland. She said you'd have a place to stay if you find a really good job, and I said, okay, you know what? 2 days it took me changing my job market from Boston into into
Portland.
Portland.
Yeah. So
And I was like, whoa.
what were you doing or trying to do, I guess, in the Boston area, and then what did you take a job doing over there in Portland?
Yeah, so of course, I'm in sales. I've been doing sales and marketing for quite some time. So when it comes to sales, at that time, I really needed something that was more stable than just the 100% commission stuff. And with given my experience, thought I'd find something, and I was only getting commission, multi-level marketing, pyramid scheme kind of bullshit. Is it okay to swear?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah. So just all that kind of bullshit, and I didn't need it. I needed something that was more stable.
Mhm.
And
What what
when
kind
I
of
looked,
what kind of pyramid schemes did you get into?
well, oh, so of course, my 2 year time of being I won't name the company, but it was the fiber optic telecom service. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say about that. Just doing door to door,
Yeah.
and I
That
was
shit was
trying to
crazy.
get, yeah, but I did really well there. I was supposed to open up my own office, and timing wasn't right, and pretty much where was it going? Oh, so yeah, I was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Can I dive into that? You said timing wasn't right. Like if you're sitting there like about to open up your own office, like are you saying maybe life just showed you that it wasn't time for that, or if that's not where you were meant to be, kind of thing, or like, or are you willing to kind of dive deeper in that? Like,
I probably won't go too far into that exactly. I mean, we can definitely talk about that off stream,
okay, okay, okay,
but
okay, that's cool.
uh, but it just wasn't right at the time.
Okay,
Just given my personal circumstances, really.
Okay.
Just I would need I would need to devote a lot of time to that, and I couldn't at the time.
Okay. All right. So you end up going to Portland, and then what are you doing, or what did you get a job doing? Are you still doing the same job?
Yes. So right now I am a logistics broker,
Logistics broker.
which
I don't know what that means.
I was just about to say, if you don't know what that
Wait,
means,
can I
it's
take a
pretty
guess?
much
Let me take
yes.
a
Go ahead.
guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from what I know, logistics could be a lot of things, but the one thing that I know is like if someone needs to ship something with a truck or something, it's basically
Ding 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 ding
logistics.
ding.
Okay, okay, okay. So
Yes.
you sell, tell me the name of tell me the name of the position again.
It's
Logistics
a logistics broker.
broker. So you facilitate and sell um maybe some sort of yeah, I don't know. Go ahead, tell me. What was I close though?
Okay,
Like
you were really like narrowing in.
it's getting
You
there.
just you just needed to slam dunk it. So, as a logistics broker, exactly, we pretty much help companies get their shipments, get their products from point A to point B, whether it be you know just between stores or the distribution center where they make it
That's cool.
to the actual to the actual stores themselves. And sometimes they don't have people on hand to just do that and ship it for them.
Sure, sure. Okay.
So
So you're
they
selling
reach
that?
out to us. Yeah, they reach out to
Cool.
us, and pretty much we work with a very large network of people
Hmm.
who are truck drivers, whether it be a company or owner operator,
And
and
are you
we
liking
can
that?
pretty dude, it's awesome. It's super fun. The companies that I get to work with, I can am pretty proud to say that I work for them
Yeah,
and I help them with that stuff. And
it's a great
it's just
feeling.
super crazy. It's always something that keeps you on your toes, and it's
But
really
that
good problem solving.
but at the end of the day, it's great
Mhm.
that you found something that you obviously enjoy doing, and that's your day job. That's what pays the bills. But realistically, the thing that you're passionate about is music, right?
Yes,
Okay, so
and
yeah,
that
let's
can
talk.
also tie into Portland
Okay, so that was another reason you went
if
out
that's where
there,
you're going
right?
with that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I was
so
just kind of going to like that's cool about like what you've done, where you've worked, but like now you're there and like but music's really the thing that like if you had 40 hours a week to focus on like just something that you absolutely loved and you could make unlimited money doing, it would be music, right?
mhm.
Okay.
100%, 100%. And pretty much I do kind of still work 40 hours a week doing
Oh, of course.
doing
Of
music
course.
after work.
Yeah. So okay, I obviously knew you when you guys were doing the El Paso gunfight.
Yeah,
Damn,
the old days.
it's been a long time since that, but you know, that's kind of I knew you. So I knew Zach as obviously like that straight edge hardcore kid who was like in metal bands and whatnot, and it was like, you know, it's like that when you think back to like the yearbook, right, so to speak, you know,
Yeah.
you're like thinking like, oh yeah, that was that kid. He was this. Like you were like for me, you know, the straight edge, like, you know, hardcore music kid who was into metal and like, you know, you could tell you were just you had a good network as well. Like you knew a lot of people. You were really active in the scene around here, you know. That's how like I came to know you. And so I'm
Yeah.
so curious, bro. A couple of things, but like uh, you're
Hit me with it.
there's still a lot of like that heavier influence in your new like music project, your Bansheekid project, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So tell me a little bit about
So
Bansheekid and how would you explain it if you were like in an elevator to someone like if they were like, "Oh, what kind of music do you do?" What would you tell them?
just give him a quick elevator pitch. Well, if you were to take the elements of our modern hardcore music, Left to Suffer, as we were talking about earlier, Alpha Wolf, and then also take trap elements, Walk a Flock of Flame,
Okay.
Yeet. Yeet's a great example because he's also in Portland. Pretty much, I'm just kind of fusing those together. I'm fusing those elements as Bansheekid, just really heavy 808s, driving melodies, and pretty much just hardcore rapping.
So it's who meets who has a baby, and you're the baby.
Who had a baby? All right, I'm gonna make it a three-way. So
That's great.
say
Let's do it.
say okay, wait, actually, hold on.
I know
Are
this
we
is a
talking
tough
about
one.
are we talking genres or are we talking bands or artists?
You just have like one opportunity to tell someone, who you're a product of, essentially, in terms
Okay.
of what people came together, right, and kind of had a baby. Because I mean,
I'm thinking I'm looking too deep into it, sorry.
no, I mean that's good, right? I'm glad I'm making you think like this, because now it's like you're like, huh, if you really boil it down, like who would and you also got to think, right? You have to say artists that people know. That's the other thing. If you say someone
That's what I
who,
was gonna say too.
yeah,
That's what kind of got me thinking. I was just like, shit. Like, if I'm just talking to a grandma, I would say think Pink Floyd may. I don't know what I don't even would a grandma listen to rap? I don't know.
like old school rap
Uh,
groups, like I see what you're saying.
yeah. Wu
Like
Tang,
Biggie,
I
Biggie
guess.
too. Okay, Wu Tang.
Biggie,
That'd
yeah.
be it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
But
that's
if I
that's
was just
fair.
talking to someone our age in the music scene, I would say thinks Ghostman met Left to Suffer. I don't know.
Okay.
I've been on the Left to Suffer kick today. I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say I have never actually heard Left to Suffer, so I'll have to listen to them. What else?
Okay.
What else did I wanted to cover with you was okay. So the straight edge thing. So you
Mhm.
um why did you what okay, how did you start being straight edge? Like what led you to make that decision? Um
Mhm.
was it I have a lot of different angles for this. Like, was it difficult as you were growing up to be straight edge, and like, or were you very, because I always saw you as very like proud. You never gave a shit about alcohol, you were around it, like you
Yeah.
just, it wasn't a thing. Like some people you can tell are like itching for it, and they're just kind of trying to be edge, but like I never saw that from you. Like it was just seemed so natural that you were that
Mhm.
person. So I'm curious, what made you break edge, dude? Like, what was the
Well, you
first thing you
see.
had? What was the first thing you had? Was it a smoke? Was it a drink? Like, what was? I'm so
Oh, dude,
curious. I'm literally so curious, dude.
you're gonna call me a pussy for the first thing that I drank. It was a White Claw.
No, dude, I should own stock in White Claw with how many I drank when me and my fiance first met. We definitely went through a lot of White Claws,
Mhm.
So no, I had no hate on White Claw, but what was the environment? Where were you? What like, what was going through your
So
mind where you were like, fuck it?
this might actually blow your mind because you actually, you know the full story, you know the full aspect of it. So pretty much what ended up happening. Well, so you want me to start off from the beginning, just like how it became straight edge? Yeah,
Yeah, go from there.
or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah. What made
okay,
you? Yeah.
so when I first moved, I had no friends. I didn't know anybody. I just really liked the area, though. I liked being outside, so I'd walk around, and I ended up running into this guy named Adam, and he was a couple years older than me, but he kept on seeing me like walk around all the time, and he was just like, "You look lost every single time that I see you. What's good?"
Dude, is he still playing music? Or wait, are
um,
we talking about that Adam, the one that?
so we aren't talking about that Adam, but
Oh, okay.
that Adam that you're thinking of, yes, they're real quick. Check out Everway; they're fucking amazing.
Everway. Okay, cool.
Yes,
They've been together for a long time.
yes, they have, and they're still going. They're still playing some crazy shows and
That's been at least 7, 8
breaking
years. I have to
hearts.
look them up. Yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I
Uh,
remember the Sad Cafe, dude.
yeah, the Sad Cafe with Silent Stories and
The
Aftermath.
Silent Stories, dude. Oh wow, that's throwback. Okay, keep going. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No,
So
you're fine. You're fine. This is a different Adam. And basically from there we just became best friends. He was straight edge, and I was always curious about it. And he went into why he was straight edge and why he is proud of it. He doesn't push it onto anybody, but he knew that I was asking about it. He had some tattoos, and I was always curious what they meant. So he just basically told me, and I was just like, at that point, I'm only 13. This man's 16, but I decided that at that point, I didn't really need any of that stuff. I had fun without it.
So you were 13.
I was 13. I was
So obviously, clearly,
I,
way too young to make that decision.
but again, I knew how to have fun with it. And at the end of the day, as well, I had a lot of family problems with that kind of stuff, with addiction, with alcohol.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I don't want to become that. And if I was to look up to anyone and want to become someone one day, it was Adam.
Okay. Yeah,
So I decided to just take that on, take that lifestyle.
I I wrote this down because I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to mention it afterwards. It is so
I
interesting to
appreciate
see.
you.
It's so interesting to see something you said earlier, influence. It's so interesting to see how we as humans are so influenced by each other, bro. That's
Hmm.
all. That's all. Everything really is. It's all just influence, you know.
You find out something and you decide, hey, I like that, and I want to also do that, wear that, whatever it may be. Um, so I decided to do that, and I kept it going until I had moved to Portland.
So
And
how long was that?
one of
How many years was that?
actually 13 years,
Okay, so you were 13, so you made it to
or
26.
for 14 years, sorry, made it to 27.
Okay,
Um, and
27. That's
I
pretty
was,
good.
yeah.
That's like 5 years of when you should definitely be like getting hammered and like, you know, um,
And
yeah.
honestly, I was thinking about it the other day too, because it was the person that I had moved here for and in with, they they were pretty heavy on drinking.
Okay.
And they knew that, and but like they didn't go out of control with it. They were just, they would drink pretty heavily a couple nights a week. So that was something that I was used to in a negative sense. But I realized that she was just having fun, and it was like on the weekends. And then you'd go home, go to work, go home, sleep, go, and you just kind of do that cycle. I was used to it like every single day, and just basically being blackout drunk. And it kind of showed me that there are other ways.
Not you being blackout drunk. Are you
No, no,
saying
no, no, no,
you?
no, no. I
Okay.
was used to, like, sorry, my family, other people that I knew. That's what I was used to when it came to drinking.
Is like being blackout.
Is basically being blacked out. Yeah.
And
And
I just want to make sure I'm not confused. You said your roommate out there that you moved in with was drinking heavily on the weekends, and were you saying like just kind of like drinking a lot, like blackout, or were you saying
not blackout. That's the thing I was getting at, was
okay,
that,
okay,
like, they just knew how to handle their alcohol. And
okay,
they would go out, have some friends, and have a few drinks. And I realized that, oh, you can do that stuff in moderation and not over the top, like I was so used to being
yeah,
around.
okay,
That's what I needed to add to that sentence, was being around. Sorry. So I didn't confuse you. But oh, so okay, so it might have been like 5 or 6 days after I moved to Portland, and it was New Year's. Yeah, it was New Year's Eve. We had gone out. She wanted to show me around to some bars. And it was kind of that night that I was like, you know what? This is a new year, new me. But like truthfully, I was kind of taking it literally at that point was, you know what? I realized that I can have fun without doing any of that kind of stuff, drinking, smoking, doing any drugs or anything like that. So if I decided to open myself up to that kind of stuff, I know I'd be able to control myself. I know I'd be able to handle myself since it had been so long of not doing anything and still being able to have fun, still being able to go out and talk to people.
Hmm.
I don't need to have that stuff. So if I opened myself up to that stuff, I feel like I wouldn't go overboard. And I didn't. You know, I've had my fun times where, I may have gone a little bit too overboard. I didn't have
Sure.
that,
Yeah.
you know, 21st birthday. I didn't
Yeah.
have that first time having a beer hiding under the fucking patio with your
Yeah.
friends. I
It's
didn't have any of those times, but
it, yeah. You always kind of have a couple nights where you definitely have a few too many, you know.
yeah, you
But
live and you
okay.
learn.
Okay, so are you so is that where you're at now? You have a few beers here and there, or like you have a few White Claws, or like
Yeah,
what
I my favorite drink is gin and tonic.
okay. What kind of gin?
And either Empress or there's a really good and it's pretty cheap one made right in Portland
Okay,
called Rose City Distillers. They make a pretty good gin as well.
cool. I have not heard of those. Are you a lime guy?
Yes,
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure. You got to have the fruit. Um,
Unless you get a blue moon, you need an orange.
yeah. That is it's so funny that to hear that story, dude. Yeah, I think and everything in moderation. You're always gonna have times where you kind of go overboard. But I was just so interested to hear that story because I just always saw you as, that dude who is always gonna be edge, But I mean, you know,
I always thought I would be, and I praise people who still are.
yeah.
I got still got a couple friends, and actually, you might know Nick DeShame and
Oh, sure.
Grace. Yeah, I know they still are and everything. I know John from Northwoods. He's still straight edge. So props to them. But
Did you
I
say
wanted to open up a little
John?
bit. Yeah,
Like Johnny John?
no, not that John, not that
Okay.
John.
Yeah, yeah.
The bassist in my last band Northwoods before I went solo.
I'm so out of touch, dude. So is that it? You're only solo right now in terms of music projects?
Yeah, for the most part, I do have some other projects that I can't really talk about just yet, but I have some other projects that do involve some other people,
Okay.
and it's been nice because I did miss the aspect of working with other people. That's the one kind of downfall of being a solo artist. You don't have anyone to bounce that idea off of
Right.
when you're stuck in a place. You don't really have four or three other people around you to say, "Dude, what do we do here?" So
Right.
it's
Um,
that's the one gripe about it.
the other thing I wanted to ask you about, as we probably are running out of time here, I think probably I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't know. There's no timer. I don't know. But the mask thing. I noticed that
Yes,
it's like a staple for you.
it is.
Is this like the marshmallow head, the not marshmallow, or does he do it too? And like
Yeah, he does it too.
the dead mouse. I don't know. What do
Yeah,
you call it, dead mouse or
dead
dead mouse?
mouse,
It's
dead
dead
mouse.
mouse, right? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was stupid. I feel so dumb for even
No,
asking that question.
you're fine. You're fine.
What did I say? Dead Mouse 5, bro. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so Dead Mouse, the whole is that the mask thing? Or is there
So
a different
I
symbolism behind it?
so there's two for me. One, it just kind of stands as like I like the anonymity. I like you not knowing. Obviously, you do, but you, the listener, not knowing exactly who I am. And
That's so
another thing
interesting.
that goes into it and kind of ties into it is that I just feel like looks are like almost too important nowadays when it comes to music. I feel like I don't know. I like to kind of be different, kind of have a little bit of a different style, as cliche as that might be. And I don't want to be known for just the pretty face or
Oh, so you
the
agree? You
nice
think you're really
eyes.
pretty?
No. Do you think I'm
Sorry.
pretty?
Of course. No, it's just a that was just a Mean Girls line. Did you pick up on it? Do you like Mean Girls?
Oh no, I just missed you, so I thought you were just hitting on me.
Of course. Your hair is longer than usual, actually.
It is, yes. I decided to grow it out as another sort of just new chapter in my life.
Yeah, I love it. It's like it sucks like feeling like one of your, childhood neighborly friends that is right down the street isn't that anymore, right? Like you're in a
Mhm.
new part of the world and basically, which is great. I mean, that's your journey and like that's where you need to be. It sucks that I can't like show up at your house and be like, "Yo, what's up?" But I can do this with
But
you. I can do this with you, which is great.
exactly.
Which leads me to another thing. We played a couple of video games here and there, and I know you're doing the Twitch thing. So if you want, drop your Twitch handle as well.
Yeah, so I don't do Twitch as much anymore. It was becoming very tasking on me with, work and music and trying to create content. But I do YouTube and TikTok now. It's just Bansheekid 23, and same as the rest of my socials. And then the music is just without the 23.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, Twitch is it's so hard to keep a consistent schedule, especially having a 2-year old. I've noticed that is extremely difficult. Um,
Yes.
but we yeah, we're out here, we're doing it.
I
Yeah,
noticed you've been streaming a little bit more though, yeah?
not really. I've been playing a lot more, dude. You know what I've been doing lately? I got this a
What's
couple
that?
days ago. The VR, bro.
Oh, snap. Okay.
I've been just chilling in the metaverse the last couple nights, and it's been a wild time. Like I'll be doing like VR poker. Um,
Dude, that's crazy.
I just learned there's a like a concert thing app. There's only like 3 or 4 artists on there, but
Mm,
like that's cool, dude. Like 3D music, like not 3D, virtual music videos. Think about that.
yeah,
That's fucking
that's
cool as hell.
that's pretty
Yeah.
wild.
Um, so there's a couple
You
of
start
like
dancing with Rihanna.
but like legit, you should look it up after, dude. It's wild. Do you was there anything else I wanted to ask you specifically about? Probably. I mean, if you had to count, could you count how many bands you've been in your time of musical journey?
So, let's start off. We had Aftermath. Then right after that, we had Set Sail was a pop punk band I was in. Then I was in a hardcore band called Portraits. Then I was in another hardcore band called the El Paso Gunfight. Then
Yes.
I did Northwoods, so five, and then Banshee Kid, Zach Brennan, so seven.
Nice.
Seven like solid music projects that I've worked in.
What has been the coolest venue that you can remember playing that stuck out?
Honestly, for me, it was really just the Palladium, just because it was right there in my home, at the time, of course, and it was just like after seeing all of these amazing like bands that I looked up to and like aspired to kind of follow, um, being able to play that venue and also along some pretty awesome bands was was a kind of a great moment for me.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. Palladium's definitely probably, you know, the bigger one around here that
Mhm.
um hell yeah. Um where else? Where else did you play? You played a lot of different places. Did you just play like churches? You used to play just like
we played dive bars, we played churches. Yeah, I
Basements, you
mean,
name it.
yeah, and it was all awesome. I mean, I don't I miss it if anything. Like that's another thing that I was talking about with my roommate too, was just how I would be in Northwoods again in a heartbeat. I would be in Aftermath again in a heartbeat. I would be in the El Paso gunfight again like in a heartbeat, and just relive those moments, but also like continue and do them from this point, kind of see where we go.
I always thought El Paso gunfight, if it was recorded differently and produced a little differently, 100% could have got picked up, you know?
Which version of
The
uh
Spotify version.
what so remember we have two versions. We have the EP version, we have the single version. The
Oh,
single version was like the super produced one. The the EP version was like the more like raw.
grungy, raw,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, are you asking me which version that I like better, or
Yeah, if you remembered, of course. I mean, it was like you said, it was 2013. That was so long ago.
I guess I only Gunslinger. Wait, was there like a story about a guy in the whole El Paso gunfight thing? Like, wasn't there like an actual character that everything was or a song was based off of? Am I making this up?
Oh yeah, the Gunslinger.
Oh, and this is a real story.
Yeah, there. If you look up the 4 dead in 5 seconds gunfight,
Yeah,
or
that's it. That was the call.
as as it was known as the El Paso gunfight, there is a story of a man who had stolen, or like, so a bunch of I believe it was livestock from a local farmer was stolen by a bunch of thieves.
Hmm.
And the sheriff of El Paso had ended up finding him, or finding the thieves after like a week long search. And it resulted in a gunfight using a revolver. And if anybody knows, those things, lock and load. It was very skillful people
Oh yeah, for
could shoot
sure.
those very quickly, but it was more or less a very slow process for it to roll over and shoot again.
Hmm.
And that's how the 4 dead in 5 seconds gunfight happened.
I love it. I think that remembering and knowing that piece of lore was what created, the name and like obviously, sparked the song. I
Yeah, so we
always
wrote
loved it.
yeah, we wrote the entire EP from different perspectives around that
Right.
whole we wrote it from the sheriff's perspective. We wrote it from the police department's perspective, searching long and wide to find these thieves who were stealing livestock from all these farmers, and just the families who were being stolen from. It was just like all the different perspectives, and it was a super fun project to work on.
I I love that project. There's a single on Spotify. Is the whole EP online as well? Is it on like
Yes,
Bandcamp
it's
or
still on Bandcamp. Yes.
okay? I'll put all the links in the description when I put this video up live.
So
But
yeah, the Bandcamp version is different. It used to be up everywhere, but we just kept the old version of the Gunslinger up on Spotify, just because everyone loved that version. It was the more like like metalcore kind of
oh,
version. It was more
really?
like
Interesting.
Barrier sounding. Yeah.
Um,
Um
that's right, Barrier. Oh shit, that's a name drop. Um,
that Backbone cover that we do.
oh my God. Wait, that's a cover, isn't it? Yeah, that's right.
We used to do a cover of Backbone by Barrier.
What a
That
what
was
a good time.
dude, those were insane.
So as we got about 3 minutes left, man, I just wanted to say thank you. One of the main reasons I'm doing these little, live chats, obviously, is to catch up with you. see what projects
Mhm.
you have going on currently, and then honestly, truly just remind you, like, and thank you for being a part of my life and my journey and helping me be a better person. Because, being your friend and being around you and your band and just our interaction in life, I am so appreciative of, and I feel like it's definitely helped me be, you know, who I am. So thanks, man. I'm so glad that we were able to connect and
Yeah, dude, we
yeah.
need to do it again. I definitely missed you, and I appreciate you as well. And I'm glad that my friendship and our interactions have benefited your life as much as they have mine, dude.
I, I always had good, good vibes whenever I heard your name or anyone mention you, or whenever I see, any of your posts or you pop up. I'm always like, that's a cool dude. And like, you know, there's people out there that you see their shit and you're like, oh, this fucking guy, you're like,
Yep.
oh yeah, like this asshole, bro. But like, you're always an awesome dude, and I'm pumped for you. I'm always here if there's anything I can do to help you out, for sure, let me know.
Hell yeah, dude. Same for
um
you.
yeah, I'm pumped, and I hope that, the Bansheekid takes off out there in Portland. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. I mean, obviously I'm out here, so I don't really have the network, but more than
Just
more
spreading
than
that
willing.
word, man.
Yeah, more than willing to post on the Rise or Die page for sure.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple minutes, like literally 2 minutes. Is there anything you wanted to kind of go over or
Oh man. I
plug
mean,
or?
we need a lot more than two
I
minutes, let me
know,
tell
I
you.
know,
But
dude. Sorry, I gotta pay for
but
this
when it
Zoom shit, dude. That's the
I
only
know
reason.
you're completely okay, man. Times are tough. We need to save as much money as we can. Inflation's real. That's what I want to say as best you can.
Hell yeah, dude. Inflation's real. Don't
But
forget it.
exactly. No, I mean, no, just if you want, Two Nights in Oslo is out on all platforms, and I have a lot more coming as well under both projects that I have going on. And definitely support Rise or Die. They've been
Oh.
always been good, and they're coming back and gonna be great again.
Oh, dude, thanks. Appreciate you saying that. I don't know if we're gonna come back, dude. I just wanted a reason to start making content again.
No, dude, exactly. And I miss this content. So if you do end up making, you got support.
Oh, hell yeah. Thanks, man. All right. Well, we'll catch up again. I'll give you a call soon, maybe throughout the week. But thanks for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. And
Absolutely, dude. Anytime.
talk to you soon. Thanks, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
All
See
right.
ya.
Peace, Zach. Bye.